Okay, it's all power washed. It's cleaned up pretty good. Now we'll roll her in and start working on it. It's one solid car though. Not too many like this. Look at those torque boxes. One for that dent. Okay. Trunk drops are solid. Okay, so we got it power washed yesterday and it cleaned up really pretty nice. A lot of grease and grime on 52 years of collecting dirt. Really happy with the way this body looks. It is really solid. Even the battery box, everything, which is very unusual for that. That is solid. These areas here where the aprons overlap the shock towers usually bubble up right here and here, and they're good and solid as well. Both sides. Frame rails are all perfect. So today we're going to start working on some of the metal work. This is the only hole in the whole car that's rusted through. And what we'll do is we'll cut this back and get rid of all the rust and repair that. Start dealing on that today. That'll be a good spot for them because it ends up getting covered. And the other, someone rolled this fender lip in. He must have had some wide tires on it. The other side is good. This one he rolled in for some reason. We'll have to fix that. And then this area here where it looks like they must have put a jack under here and lifted the car up because they put a, they tore the sheet metal there. So we'll pull that out and see if we can get it good and straight. If not, we might have to roll a new piece here, duplicate it like this, and then just patch that in, weld it in. There's a couple spots here that they put a couple holes in here. Don't know what those were for. Car was raced, I'm sure. Looks like that's all it did. Torque boxes usually swell up right in here. These are nice and solid, not swollen at all. So here we are, power washed, ready to get started on some of the metal work. Trunk drops, solid. They even got the original plug in here, which most of them, those are gone really quick. You can see where we got rid of some of the caulking, bare, or not bare metal. It looks like it's prime there. That's the other thing, this car, I know a lot of guys think that these should be red oxide on the bottom, but I believe Ford, they had like batch paints, or basically I think whatever was left over, they started shooting on the bottom of there. So this one is kind of a dark gray. There's some black in the center because they fog this in when they do the engine bay. but you can see some areas that are primed. Let me see if I can find a good spot here. Over on the floor, you can see I took some sandpaper and went all the way through, and here I took a little bit of lacquer thinner and got the Calypso Coral, the enamel off, and you can see underneath that primer is more of a gray. It's not red oxide. There's a few spots. Here's another one that I wiped down. So I'm probably going to try to duplicate that for the bottom. I've done that on a couple other cars that, especially 69s. You can see it's not red oxide. So the documentation I have on this car, I think I'm going to duplicate that color. Okay, today I'm going to load this car up and take it to get it media blasted. Got everything, Dylan and I power washed everything, and he did a lot of work on scraping all the undercoating off, so most of that's off. And really, I was torn. I could sand this all down fairly easy, or Dylan can, with a DA sander, so we could strip the outside, but the inside would be pretty hard to get all this nice and clean. So I decided I'm just going to have it media blasted, take it all down to bare metal. So that's the plan for today. Load it up, load the doors, load a few of the parts up, and drop her off. So I'm prepping this to get it media blasted. And one of the things that I always try to do is cover up the VIN numbers. You can see they're stamped into this shock tower. And so I'll use some real heavy tape, 3 layers on top of this. So when they media blast it, I don't have any chance of them distorting that number. Same with this tag on the dash. That's the original pop rivets. I'm going to leave that on there. I'm going to make a little box around here and tape it up really good so they can't damage that as well. Okay, we're all loaded up, ready to go get our media blast. Forgot to take a picture of this, but so I double taped this and marked it with red or with white paint. Do not remove. Same way with that. Do not remove. And I built a cardboard box around that, then thin plate, and taped it up with Gorilla Tape, about 4 layers, so it should be nice and safe. Head on down the road.